A wife who trusts her husband the most is shocked to find wads of cash under their house floorboards one day. She calls him at work to ask about the money and gets another shock. He had quit his job months ago. Faith had always considered herself lucky. Despite her mother passing away at a young age, she never missed out on a loving home, thanks to her father. And when she fell in love for the first time, she met the most wonderful man she could ask for. Before we continue, please take some time to subscribe to Dailydose, like, and share this video with your friends. It might brighten their day and inspire them to do good. Also keep watching because an important lesson awaits at the end of the video. Owen was everything Faith had wished for in a man. He was attractive and caring, and most importantly, he loved her deeply. He had his own tiny house, which his late parents had left to him, and they moved there soon after marriage. Faith loved everything about Owen, including the small cozy house they had. He worked in a drawing studio and didn't make much money, but she loved him regardless, even though her father was not happy with their marriage. "You could have done better, Faith," he would say. "I truly wish you had married someone who would care for you when I'm not there." I don't think Owen is that kind of a guy. 4 years later, Faith's father died in a terrible accident at the factory where he worked. She was devastated after losing him, and it was only Owen's love and care that helped her move on. But just as everything seemed to fall into place, another tragedy struck them. Faith collapsed one day, and it turned out she was sick, very sick. Brain tumor, the doctors said. Faith needed surgery, or it could be fatal. But they didn't have insurance, and Owen's meager salary wouldn't come close to covering it. None of these hurdles would stop him, because he had promised his sick wife that he would do anything to make her better. "You know I'll go to any length for you, Faith," he said. "We promised to be there for each other in sickness and in health. I love you." And Owen really tried. He tried his best, but things just weren't working. Faith's condition worsened, and doctors said she needed surgery as soon as possible. Those were the days when Owen began arriving home late. When Faith asked him about it, he said he was working extra hours at the office to afford her surgery. "Don't worry, honey," he'd said. "Everything will work out, you'll see. We'll get through this, I promise. We'll make it through together." Faith trusted him. She trusted everything he said, every word. Was she making a mistake? One day, after Owen had left for work, Faith went to the basement to retrieve something when she noticed a specific section of the floorboard seemed odd, like someone had recently changed them. As she walked over it, it made a strange creaking sound, so she sat down and began inspecting it. "Is something in there?" Faith brought the hammer from the toolbox and decided to remove the wooden plank. As she did, she gasped at what lay there. Faith found thick wads of cash underneath the wooden planks. So much money! What is this even doing there? She wondered in shock. The young woman had never seen so much money in her life. Where did it all come from? Did Owen know anything about it? Faith returned to the living room with all the money and dialed Owen's number, but the call didn't go through. She called his office, and that's when she got the shock of her life. "He what?" she asked, stunned. "I'm afraid we don't know about his whereabouts," said the voice on the other end of the line. "Mr. Webb resigned from his position 2 months ago." "But he never told me anything about this. How could he just quit his job?" "I'm sorry, Mrs. Webb, but we don't have any additional information regarding your husband. Have a nice day." As the call was disconnected, Faith felt like her heart dropped to the floor. They needed money for her treatment, and Owen had quit his job. Then where did he go every morning when he left for work? What about all that overtime? And the money? Where did it come from? Faith felt like her head would explode with the countless questions she had. "Please tell me you're not into something illegal, Owen," she said in tears, staring at all the money she had found. She was afraid Owen had gone too far. She was worried that everything would fall apart. That night, when he returned home, Faith confronted him. "Owen, we need to talk," she said as soon as he entered. He saw all that cash on the table and froze. "Faith," he stammered. "How, where? Where did you get that?" "You know better, Owen, wouldn't you?" she said in tears. "What are you hiding, Owen? Where did all this money come from?" Owen gulped hard and said, "Look, honey, I can explain." "Oh, Owen, She cried. I want you to. Just tell me you're not into anything wrong. Honey, please. Look, I love you. I always will. Faith, he said, holding her hands. I got it at work. At work? She gasped. What do you mean? You quit your job, Owen. Why did I not know that? I called your office because I couldn't reach your number, and guess what? They told me you quit your job months ago. I'm sorry, he said quietly. I'm working at a factory. I've been doing that for months. And it's good money. What? He nodded. Because I do overtime. I get paid more than the other workers. It was all I could do for your surgery. I know you lost your dad in an accident at the factory, and you were traumatized, Faith, so I just didn't tell you. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you or keep you in the dark. I want you to be fine, and I want us to live a good life, a happy life. Faith couldn't contain her tears. You really did that? She asked. I did, he confessed. The studio paid wasn't great, you know that. I didn't have a way out. I love you, Faith. I would never lie to you. I had to hide all that money because I didn't want you to know. That's all. I'm sorry, darling, she sobbed, hugging him close. I should be the one to apologize. Owen, look, I don't want to lose you. That work? It's dangerous. We'll figure something out, okay? We can get this surgery done without you having to work there. He smiled and wiped her tears. The good news is that we're almost there. Faith, I asked my boss for a loan. And with that, we'll have enough funds for now. We can go meet your doc this week and schedule your surgery. Let's get this done, okay? A week later, Faith's surgery was scheduled, and it went well. Despite the hardships, Owen did it. He saved Faith. I wish Dad was here, Owen, was the first thing Faith said after regaining consciousness. I hope he knows I found the one who will always take care of me. He would be so proud of you. I know that. He would be so proud of you. Soon, Faith and Owen returned to a normal life, with Owen quitting his dangerous job at the factory and resuming his work at the studio. And a year later, they welcomed a mini Faith into their world. They became the best parents to their wonderful baby girl.